There's a ball hawk on this Chicago Bears team that just got tagged for a huge breakout in 2024. I'm just going to get right to it. PFF, they just picked Tyreek Stevenson to break out in 2024. And the funny thing about all this, we should be just absolutely geeked that last year, that's just considered the tip of the iceberg. I mean, this was just a very strong rookie season by any measurement, right? He showed legit lockdown ability, and he's worthy of the title ball hawk. He ended up totaling 4 interceptions. That tied Jalen Johnson and Tremaine Edmonds for a team high. This is exactly what's valued in this Eberflus defense, the ability to take the ball away. But it also speaks to his development as the season progressed. All the picks, they were in the final 7 weeks of the season. And he also tied Seahawks cornerback Devin Witherspoon. And that's for the most passes defense by a rookie with 16. That ranked first on the Bears and 5th in the whole league. Now, that's a stat I wasn't aware of, and it was courtesy of BearsWire.com. Also, Stevenson, he allowed 100.4 pass rating and 9 touchdowns. That tied for second most among cornerbacks with 500-plus coverage snaps. And that's during the 2023 season, obviously, and that stat is courtesy of PFF. Stevenson, he also led all rookie defenders and his team with 4 interceptions, like I said, but this is also with 13 pass deflections. He did something last year that I absolutely love, and we all should. He played fast. He played aggressive. He played instinctually, and that's led to some yellow flags we'd like to see less of, right? Call it rookie experience, but man, personally, I think he broke out last year, but it may be possible we're going to have 2 lockdown corners on this same team. And PFF, they ran this story on breakout candidates for every NFL team. You guys give it a second, read through the whole thing. It's actually really fun to see what's in store for this coming year. But Tyreek, he was their overwhelming choice for the Chicago Bears team. And here's what Bradley Locker of PFF had to say. Stevenson had a good year 1 as the Bears cornerback 2. He came down with 4 interceptions and 13 pass breakups, but he allowed 100.4 passer rating when targeted. He continues with another good sign. His 4 highest graded games came in week 11 or later, with star Jalen Johnson solidified next to him and a secondary bolstered by Kevin Byard. Stevenson should shoulder larger responsibilities for a revamped Bears team with lofty goals. I mean, that Arizona game, it was absolutely ridiculous, if you remember. So let's look back on the year. He started all 16 games that he played in last year. That's all of them besides 1. He only missed November 27th's Monday Night Football game against Minnesota, and he had an ankle injury. He played 82% of the defensive snaps this season, the most by a rookie on defense. He totaled 86 tackles in addition to this production on the ball. He just has a nasty streak, and this is what sticks out to me. He has absolutely no fear. And honestly, that's what we've lacked in recent years, right? Just some teeth on the back end of the defense, just some aggressiveness, some nastiness. We're facing an embarrassment of riches here. We get to pair him with Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon, plus the addition of all-pro Kevin Byard at safety. It's getting to the point that it kind of feels like cheating. And I think this is kind of funny to look back on as well. So many of us, I was even there a little. In the 2023 draft, I was like, really, another corner? Didn't we just grab Gordon? Didn't we just grab Brisker the previous year? I've learned to trust polls over time, and man, look at what he built in the secondary. I'm not sure there's any debate at this point. We have the best secondary in the league, and Stevenson he's the addition that ensures that designation. He's the cherry on top of this sundae. The only issue, though, 7 flags. I think he clears that up. The over pursuit and mistakes we saw in the first half of the season. I mean, remember the way he got torched by Romeo Doubs in week 1? Those were getting shored up quickly, and he was just a stud after week 11. No reason to believe this won't continue. ChicagoBears.com, they selected Stevenson as the Bears Rookie of the Year for 2023. Ahead of the Bears Week 18 game in Green Bay, Stevenson, they caught up with him, and he reflected on what allowed him to progress during his rookie year. And this is, I think, the best way to get to know these players is just hear it from them. So here's what Stevenson had to say. I think I just really settled down my game, just going out there, understanding that I'm meant to be here and everything happens for a reason. And just understanding that I'm on the field for a reason. And when I go out there, just play my game and know that the game is going to come to me. So one of Stevenson's top performances last year, that came in the regular season finale against the Packers. He broke up a pass intended for receiver Romeo Doubs that prevented a touchdown. He also forced a fumble. The Bears recovered that. That was a turning point in the game, even though we couldn't close it out. But by starting and ending the season against Green Bay, Stevenson was able to see his year come full circle and point to the noticeable improvements. And I want to go to another story here on chicagobears.com. They just have this really cool feature called Rookie Diary. And if you get a chance, just read through the whole thing. It's such a good read, such a good way to get to know these guys. I kind of wish I could just read it all here, but here's what Tyreek had to say about his experience against the Packers. I do think the final game in Green Bay, that helped me quiet some of those thoughts, though. I remember that first game of the year against the Packers, I gave up some big plays, but to come back at the end of the season against the same team and make some big time plays like the forced fumble to keep the team in the game, that was absolutely amazing for me and my confidence. So personally, the most important play was the pass breakup I had against Romeo Doubs in the end zone that led to the Packers coming up empty-handed on their first drive. I mean, in week one, I gave up that same type of catch to the same player. So that really hurt. So to go back out, have another one-on-one shot against him and knock the ball out, felt pretty good, man. It solidified my game and my confidence in myself to go out there and compete at the highest level. I mean, that is so good. So on top of that Arizona game, it's arguably that his best game was against the Falcons. And I'm going to close this down. Thank you, you guys. So against Arizona, 2 picks, 5 tackles, 4 passes defended. That got him Defensive Player of the Week honors, making him the first Bears player to be named NFC Defensive Player of the Week since Eddie Jackson in Week 12 of the 2018 season. My house is a construction zone, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. I'm doing my best. Just bear with me. That's even more of an affirmation that we have something special happening here at Hallis Hall. So after Stevenson earned the award, Coach Matt Eberflus, he had high praise for his rookie cornerback, and this is from Coach Flus. I like Tyreek for a couple reasons. Number one, he's an aggressive player and he tackles well. That's an important aspect. And he's long, he's lean, he's long. He's got good lean mass, so he can really tackle well. He can tackle big backs. You can see that. He knocks them back. That's the number one thing I like about him. And this is the most telling. And then the length in the passing game. When you're covering deep routes and side pocket throws, that length matters. Having arms at 32 or 33 inches, that's way different than having 28s. So it's important that we acquire players like that. He's one of them, but I love his attitude and I love his demeanor that he brings to the game every week. And that's kind of telling. Once again, this regime absolutely loves guys with the right measurables. Arm length is a huge factor. And as Flus said, length matters, and you just can't coach that, right? That is such a good feature of Tyreek Stevenson. We've got so much to be excited about. We have the best secondary in the league. And if last year was just the tip of the iceberg with Tyreek Stevenson, man, to have not one, but 2 shutdown, lockdown corners. We just paid Jalen, and that contract's going to end up being below market value. It already is. And then we get Tyreek Stevenson for a couple more years at least on his rookie contract. So we not only have these players locked up, we have them at an affordable rate, and we also, this is just a developing team, and I think we already have a top 5 defense. There's so much to look forward to. And also, if you think about the line, sure, we need an edge rusher. Sure, we need to develop Austin Booker. But what a good thing to help a defensive line develop, to help a defensive line improve, is just shut down the receivers. And we have got the ability to do that now with our secondary. Just so geeked about this upcoming season. You guys let me know what you think. But hey, bear down. Let's continue to enjoy this thing that we have going, and I can't wait for the season. See ya.